call it destiny that he grew up 43 miles from Wingate in a thriving textile mill town outside Rockingham called Robberdale. The town had 800 residents and 2 doctor's offices in the early 1900s.
It was a place that shaped a young Jerry McGee's life and the institution he would eventually lead. In his book called Robberdale, A Village of Grace, McGee writes, "They taught us to be responsible, to respect the feelings and opinions of others, and to be productive members of our community.
And that we could do anything we wished to do with our talents and our lives, if we were willing to work fairly and diligently." Danny Cadell is Jerry McGee's brother.
Everybody knew everybody and looked after each other. And I think it ingrained in us principles that we carried forth in our adult life.
Growing up just a couple counties over gave McGee a front row seat to be able to keep tabs on this place with so much possibility.
It was Thad Woodard, longtime president of the North Carolina Bankers Association, who came up with McGee's name.
Clark Goodwin was a very, very dear friend of mine, and Wingate has never had a better friend than Clark Goodwin. When they were looking for a new president, Clark called me and said, "Thad, we've kind of run up on the rocks and we need some names." I said, "Well, there's only one name. You need to call Jerry McGee. He's at Furman."
I would like to present Dr. McGee to you now. Thank you.
McGee arrived in the summer of 1992 and had some prophetic words at his first news conference.
I would like to feel like during these next 10 to 20 years that I've got the potential here to really make a difference.
He's stayed 23 years, an incredible amount of time in higher ed, where presidents can change as quickly as the seasons. Luther Moore was on the Presidential Search Committee in '92.
It was a good chemistry, a good fit. I remember during the interview we had with him, I asked him a question that made him mad. I could tell he was mad because I challenged him about something. You could see the steam coming out of there. But he passed the test.
On McGee's watch, Wingate achieved university status, nearly tripled enrollment, added new bachelor's, master's, and doctoral programs, built 37 new buildings, conferred 7,888 degrees, added campuses in Ballantyne, in South Charlotte, and Hendersonville in the North Carolina mountains, secured close to $200 million in gifts and grants for scholarships and the endowment, and forged important relationships. One of the first fundraising calls of McGee's presidency was to the Cannon Foundation, the Charles A. Cannon family, who had donated so much over the years. Frank Davis, president of Cannon Charitable Interests, on Wingate's transformation.
An institution fulfilling its potential, being challenged, utilizing well the resources it had then, which generated additional resources over time.
Another significant relationship came with Charlotte philanthropist Porter B. Byram, whose gift of the Park Road Shopping Center in 2011, worth $21 million, was the single biggest gift Wingate's received.
It wasn't the kind of a relationship where he was even pushing me to do anything for. I think he was as much surprised as anything when he found out that I was making this contribution to him.
Byram's gift, among many things, established the Byram Scholars, which generously funds students who are bright and have financial need. A photo is taken each year as more students are added.
For 16 of his 23 years at Wingate, McGee doubled as university president and football official, the only college president we could find that's done so. His career began with officiating high school games as a way to pay his wife's college tuition. Then a few college games were thrown his way, then a few more.
Then a few years later, I'm working in the Orange Bowl. I mean, it's kind of crazy how it all worked out, but I officiated 400 college games. I officiated probably almost every major game. I was Southern Cal, Penn State, Michigan, Notre Dame, Army, Navy, 26 bowl games, 3 national championships.
Games McGee calls memorable, but then there are unforgettable plays too, like this one, when he got clocked by an offensive wide receiver at the Louisville Pitt game in 1994.
Jerry McGee is an exceptional person. First of all, not many people have officiated at the high level that he has. He's done all the big games.
In May 2012, McGee was inducted into the North Carolina Sports Hall of Fame.
I always felt like every time I was given the opportunity to put on a striped shirt and officiate the game, that that it was important to the players, it was important to the coaches, it was important to the fans, so it had to be important to me.
His career on the field gave him great experience in making important decisions, something he'd have to do off the turf as a university president.
Everything that we've done at the sports since Dr. McGee arrived is a credit to him. I mean, obviously, with the addition of new sports, with the facilities that we have to play in, with the coaching staff that we've been able to assemble.
Wingate University is home to 500 student athletes, that's 1 out of 3 undergrads, and hosts 22 NCAA Division II sports. For the past 8 years, the university has won the South Atlantic Conference Eccles Athletic Excellence Award based on the success of the sports programs. But McGee isn't just an advocate for athletics, he's also a spectator at most sporting events, and when he's not in the stands, rest assured he's tweeting out his pride, boasting about a team's success.
I think university administration has to be committed to making every decision based on what is the best thing for our students. If it's the best thing for our students, it's the best thing for our university.
And that's been McGee's mantra for the 44 years he's worked in education. What's best for the students? G.R. Kinley, former Rockingham mayor, Board of Transportation member, and McGee friend for 40-plus years.
He's been a role model for the young, the older, and all in between. His intentions was to be successful and to help people.
And he'll leave a legacy long after he's gone, says Hope Williams, president of North Carolina Independent Colleges and Universities.
It really is a legacy of leading the university to be in a position to help the dreams of a college education come true for students. And to think about the difference that that education is going to make in their lives and in the lives of their families and in the expansion of what their futures can be is as wonderful a legacy as anyone could have.